Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, Revelation, Thyatira's Jezebel. Scripture references out of Revelation 2, verse 20. But I have this against you, that you tolerate the woman, Jezebel. Now, Jezebel, her name, means chaste or unexalted. Now, this may have been a woman locally in Thyatira with the name Jezebel, or it is a symbolic reference to the wife of King Ahab. Jezebel, the queen and wife of King Ahab of Israel, was not a nice lady. King Ahab was not a good king, and she was not a good influence. 1 Kings 21, verse 25, surely there was no one like Ahab who sold himself to do evil in the sight of the Lord, because Jezebel, his wife, incited him. Jezebel was from Sidon. She was a Phoenician. And this would be modern-day Lebanon, north of Israel. And if you go to a map on the Mediterranean Sea, you can see the towns of Sidon and Tyre today. And she worshipped Baal and was an idolatrous woman. 1 Kings 16:31, it came about as though it had been a trivial thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he married Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Sidonians, and went to serve Baal and worshipped him. Jezebel surrounded herself with prophets of false gods. 1 Kings 18, verse 19, now then send and gather to me all Israel at Mount Carmel, together with 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of the Asherah, who eat at Jezebel's table. She loved the false prophets, and she was hostile to God's prophets. She promised to kill Elijah. She killed other prophets too. 1 Kings 18, verse 13, has it not been told to my master what I did when Jezebel killed the prophets of the Lord, that I hid 100 prophets of the Lord by 50s in a cave, and provided them with bread and water? Second example is 1 Kings 19, verse 2, then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, saying, so may the gods do to me, and even more, if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. So, there's a veiled reference and a threat to Elijah. Hey, I killed these other folks, and I'm coming after you. And Jezebel, she had Naboth falsely accused and stoned. Naboth was the owner of a winery that her husband, King Ahab, wanted. King Ahab offered to buy the winery. Naboth refused to sell. So Jezebel forged a letter in the name of the king, had two men bear false witness against Naboth, and as a result, Naboth was executed, and Ahab got his winery. Now, for details of that, check out 1 Kings 21. Evil was allowed to run its course, and eventually Jezebel got hers. Jezebel's death was prophecy fulfilled. Where Jezebel colluded with two men to lie about a decent man, Scripture bears witness to her promised death 2 times. Those 2 examples are 1 Kings 21, verse 23 of Jezebel also has the Lord spoken, saying, the dogs will eat Jezebel in the district of Jezreel. 2 Kings 9, verse 10, the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel, and none shall bury her. Then he opened the door and fled. Now Jezebel could not manipulate her way out of death, but she tried. 2 Kings 9, verse 30, when Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her eyes and adorned her head and looked out the window. Her end was a violent death without burial, as prophesied. And from 2 Kings, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trampled her underfoot. Now, they didn't think a whole lot of Jezebel. After they killed her, they went, had something to eat, and they didn't bother burying her. And that was as promised in 2 Kings 9, verse 35. They went to bury her, but they found nothing more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. And then there was the reminder from Elijah, 2 Kings 9, verses 36 through 37. Therefore they returned and told him, and he said, this is the word of the Lord, which he spoke by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, In the property of Jezreel, the dogs shall eat the flesh of Jezebel, and the corpse of Jezebel will be as dung on the face of the field in the property of Jezreel. So they cannot say, this is Jezebel. Now, if you're interested in this topic, please feel free to check out paulthepope.com, keyword Jezebel, Revelation, Thyatira. And this is just part of the continuing series on the book of Revelation. Thanks for listening. Take care.